This episode of WisBusiness.com, the show, is brought to you by Grant Thornton, White Hirschbeck Dudek, Madison Gas and Electric, and the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee.
Hi, I'm Liz Schrum for the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show. On today's show, Tom Still talks about how Wisconsin's business climate stacks up in magazine rankings. And Mark Richardson from the Urban League of Greater Madison discusses jobs creation and workforce diversity. First, here's the WisBusiness.com stock report for early May. Rising state tourism. New stats show the tourism economy growing nearly 8% last year, up to some $16 billion in total sales. That translates into more than 180,000 jobs. Tourism promoters say the state's increased ad budget played a role. And falling, Briggs & Stratton. The Milwaukee Engine Company continues to deal with the lingering effects of a sluggish economy. The company will cut about 10% of its workforce worldwide, or about 210 jobs. Some production will be moved from Alabama to China. Meanwhile, Briggs says it will focus on selling to wholesalers and forego sales in retail stores. That's the WisBusiness.com stock report. Go to WisBusiness.com for more on these and other stories. Tom Still is next with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
Please hold. Your call is very important.
Does it seem like getting technical advice from business advisors can, well, take some time? At Grant Thornton, client access to partners has made them one of the largest accounting firms in the country. Grant Thornton.
The first thing to recognize about magazine polls on state business rankings is they are all, by nature, subjective. That's not meant to downplay the fact that Wisconsin has climbed to number 20 on the list of best states and worst states published by Chief Executive Magazine. In fact, it's meant to underscore the importance of public perception when it comes to economic development. 2 years ago, Wisconsin was ranked 41st in the Chief Executive rankings, one of many such rankings published by national trade magazines that follow the economic ups and downs of the 50 states. This year, Wisconsin ranked 20th, the most dramatic rise of any state. Because the chief executive rankings rely in part on a survey of top execs around the country, it reflects perception as much as it does hard statistical fact. For many of those execs, however, the word is out that Wisconsin's budget is coming back into balance, the tax burdens are moderating, and there are strong incentives to grow, retain, and attract businesses. Chief Executive said part of Wisconsin's climb is based on how it treats entrepreneurs and startup companies. The magazine also cited Wisconsin's new public-private approach to economic development, led by the transition of the former Wisconsin Department of Commerce into the new Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. It also praised Wisconsin's drive to become the nation's water technology leader. Finally, it mentioned the state's innovative tax credit program for angel investors, which has helped to boost angel investments from less than $2 million to more than $61 million in just 7 years. Make no mistake, the rankings also reflected politics. The Chief Executive Survey captured the anti-union sentiments of some business leaders who scored right-to-work states higher and who praised Governor Scott Walker for his fight with public employee unions. For the record, Texas was number 1, and California, which is fighting a massive exodus of talent and companies, was a dismal 50th. How did Wisconsin's neighbors fare? Indiana was 5th on the list, thanks to a steady record of attracting venture capital and keeping taxes in line. Iowa was 22nd, but Michigan, Minnesota, and Illinois were well down the list. State-by-state rankings on everything from bicycle paths to alternative lifestyles sell magazines. So it's no surprise that many publications like to rate state business climates. While individual rankings should be taken with a grain of salt, the collective picture can be important. If Wisconsin is on the rise, or perceived as such, in the eyes of multiple editors, writers, and pollsters, that's more than fluff. It's a trend. So let's accept the good news while we can, and continue to make the case that Wisconsin's newfound perception can also become reality.
Thanks, Tom. I'll be right back with Mark Richardson from the Urban League of Greater Madison.
White Hirschbeck Dudek represents companies at all stages of development and in a wide range of industries to navigate the legal challenges of regional, national, and global growth. At WHD, every stage takes center stage.
I'm back with Mark Richardson, Vice President of Workforce and Economic Development for the Urban League of Greater Madison. Thanks for joining us, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
Some say that Wisconsin should do a better job of keeping its best and brightest young people home. Tell us why diversity is vital to building and retaining a younger workforce.
Diversity ranks quite high amongst young professionals as far as what they look for in a workplace. We've got a group from Edgewood College doing some surveys right now of young professionals, and diversity, over 50% said they look for a diverse workforce when they look for a workplace.
Education and training is important for everyone, but maybe even more so in communities with lower graduation rates and higher job losses. What job training programs have you seen work?
Most of what we've seen work, and certainly programs of ours, involve an immersion, where someone makes a decision to change their work situation, and at that point you take them and you essentially make that training a job. And one of our job training programs, we go 5 weeks, 4 days a week, 8 hours a day. And by the time you get out of that training, it is in fact like having a job, so we know they're ready to work.
The Urban League will hold a Workforce Diversity Summit May 16th. What can employers from across Wisconsin learn there?
They can learn best practices. They can learn what it takes to find diverse talent, and probably as important, retain that talent, to attract that talent from whatever larger market they might be coming from.
Thanks, Mark, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and sponsored by Grant Thornton, Whitehurst Beck Dudek, MG&E, and UW-Milwaukee. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum of Talent Foot Executive Search. See you next time.